There's a storm living inside you. Not the kind that shakes the sky, but the one that shakes your chest. It's the surge of emotion that grips you when someone cuts you off, disrespects you, or blocks your path. That pulse of fire that feels like strength, but usually leaves you weaker. The truth. Most of us are ruled by these storms. They steer our choices, break our focus, and hand our power over to others. But what if you could step into the chaos and stay calm? Imagine being untouchable, while everyone else loses themselves to rage and fear. The ancient Stoics, philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, did exactly that. They weren't gods. They weren't unfeeling statues. They were men who learned how to rule themselves before trying to rule the world. And in this video, you'll learn their way. Most people think emotion gives them strength. Shouting makes you powerful. Anger makes you fearless. But that's the greatest trick your emotions ever played. Emotions don't make you strong. They make you predictable. Think about it. When someone knows exactly what will set you off, they own you. A rude word, an insult, a little disrespect, and suddenly you've lost control. That's not power. That's slavery. Epictetus put it simply, any person capable of angering you becomes your master. The Stoics realized this. Every time you react, you're giving away your freedom. True strength isn't the loud explosion. It's the quiet refusal to be provoked. There's a story about the philosopher Seneca. He served as an advisor to Emperor Nero, a man infamous for cruelty, ego, and uncontrollable anger. Most men would have trembled under Nero's moods. But Seneca learned to keep calm even in the emperor's presence. Once, when falsely accused of conspiring against Nero, Seneca didn't argue, didn't panic, didn't even flinch. Instead, he spoke with clarity and calm. His refusal to mirror Nero's rage exposed the emperor's weakness, while Seneca's composure revealed his strength. This is the Stoic way. Don't fight fire with fire. Fight fire with stone. Stay unmoved, and the storm exhausts itself against you. Why do we get angry, jealous, or anxious? Because we believe the world should bend to our will. We expect people to respect us. We expect life to be fair. We expect control where we never had any. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Your emotions flare when your expectations collide with reality. But reality doesn't care about your expectations. The Stoic secret is radical acceptance. Stop trying to control what you can't. Focus instead on what's yours, your mind, your choices, your response. That is the only battlefield where victory is possible. The Stoics practiced something strange. They deliberately made their lives harder. Seneca would eat only the cheapest food for days, reminding himself that comfort is an illusion. Epictetus, born a slave, trained himself to accept pain and insult without losing dignity. Why? Because hardship makes the soul unshakable. When you've practiced living with less, insults lose their sting, losses lose their terror, and anger has nothing to grab onto. Try this today. Remove one comfort. Skip sugar. Take a cold shower. Leave your phone behind for a walk. The discomfort will sting, but you'll feel something shift. That fragile ego, that constant craving for control, begins to fade. And with it, so does your anger. Imagine this. Someone insults you. Your first instinct is to strike back. But the Stoics taught, pause. That tiny space between stimulus and response is where freedom lives. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to delay his reactions. A single breath. A silent count to 3. A deliberate pause. Why? Because most anger dies if you don't feed it immediately. That pause turns a trigger into a choice. Next time someone mocks you, don't answer. Just breathe. Watch them. You'll feel the power shift instantly. You've taken back control, not over them, but over yourself. Every morning, Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. Why meditate on death? Because when you see how temporary life is, small provocations become laughable. Traffic jams, rude co-workers, petty arguments. What are they compared to the silence of eternity? A man who accepts death is untouchable. He can't be rattled by gossip or insult. He's already faced the greatest fear and smiled. At the root of anger lies the ego. You don't rage because the world is cruel. You rage because someone bruised your pride. Someone ignored you. Someone treated you as less. But ego is the weakest part of us, not the strongest. The Stoics practiced humility, stripping away the need for recognition. They wore simple clothes, avoided luxury, and refused to cling to reputation. Because here's the truth, the more you need others to validate you, the easier you are to control. But the man who has nothing to prove cannot be provoked. History tells us Marcus Aurelius led Rome through wars, plagues, and betrayal. He faced generals who turned against him, senators who schemed behind his back, and a world that seemed always on fire. And yet, in his private journal, later published as Meditations, he never cursed his enemies, never lashed out at fate. Instead, he wrote reminders to himself, don't be overheated by anger. Don't be carried away by pleasure. Don't be ruled by fear. That was his battle. Not with swords, but with himself. And he won. This isn't about pretending to be an emperor or philosopher. It's about applying their code today. When you feel anger, pause. When you crave comfort, deny yourself briefly. When you expect fairness, remind yourself, life doesn't owe you anything. When ego rises, shrink it. The quieter you are, the less you react, the harder you are to control. The Stoics lived with a single truth. Peace is power. Anyone can shout. Anyone can lose their temper. But the rare man, the dangerous man, is the one who stays calm while the world burns. Because stillness is not weakness. It's strategy. It's composure. It's freedom. And freedom, as the Stoics knew, is the only true power. So, remember this. The next time someone tries to provoke you, don't fight them. Don't fight yourself. Step into the storm. Stand silent. And let the winds break against you. Because the man who cannot be provoked cannot be defeated. Thank you for watching. If you found this journey into Stoic philosophy inspiring, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who struggles with anger or anxiety. And remember, the greatest victory is victory over yourself.